We'll move over one tab, and now we're going to discuss our export tool. So the export tool has actually a lot of depth to it. By default, it's going to export all of the data from all of the sites at all the subjects that you have access to. If you are a user only at the United States or at a specific site, you would only have access to that specific data, but also only if your role has been configured to be able to access that data and export it. So a few of the things you can do here: you can subset your subjects and do just certain people. You can also export specific events and time points, forms and items, and I will just point out, double check on this, you can export specific items. So if I want only the demographics form, I can click on that, and then I can subset my items if I wanted to. For the purposes of our demo, we're going to go ahead and export everything. All right, export formats. Let's skip down to that. That's absolutely vital. So commonly asked question, of course, how can I get my data? What formats do you support? So by default, everything's going to come out in Excel. However, you can also select CSV, a simple comma separated values. This also has an option to export a SAS script along with your CSV data. And that SAS script will actually ingest those CSV files into statistical analytics software if you use SAS. It's really helpful. It imports your formats and all of your variable names and labels and that sort of thing. You can also export your PDF formats for archival, and CDISC ODM, which is sort of the ultimate archival format, because that's not only your data, but it's also the underlying database structure. These exports run very quickly. If I go ahead and queue up an export, I see it appearing up here at the latest export area. It's in queue now. We're going to start to see some progress, and that percentage is going to tick up very, very quickly. And in no time, that data set will be available for download. But while that's running, it's worth mentioning that many of our clients want to automate this process. And we do have a data export tool, which is a simple runtime application, which can be then triggered from your local operating system's task scheduler to make a call into our system and pull that data down. Or if you're a little bit more tech friendly and comfortable, you can use our API to make those same calls and build that into your own ecosystem and architecture. All right, so we can see here that that particular extract is already complete. At this point, I can download that file with a click of a button and see what it looks like on my system. However, you don't necessarily need to run an export to start interacting with your data. If I click on this Preview Data button, I can see a line listing for all of the forms and all of the subjects, all of the sites that I have access to. So if I go down here and look at my adverse event form, I can see the listing for every single one of the adverse events in my system. And by clicking on any one of the blue hyperlinks, I can open up the electronic case report form and view that directly in my application. We also have some simple metrics here. So if you would like to draw a simple pie chart or what have you, you can click on the pie chart, select a parameter of interest. Let's look at seriousness and click Draw. And here I have this pie chart telling me that I have 64% of my adverse events being no to the serious adverse event question, 36% being yes. While that's somewhat helpful, if I move over to my bar chart, I can add in site name. And now I'm stratifying those yes-no parameters across all of my sites. So it's just giving me some more high-level information to look at. Again, this was Greg Tullo with Viedoc. Thank you for taking the time to watch this short video about our eClinical solution.